Would it be cool if we went into some success principles today? Would that be all right?
Yeah.
How to? Remember that side. So today we're going to talk about taking 100% responsibility, achieving higher levels of happiness, and most importantly, being 100% control of your outcome. Who here has a child? Raise your hand. And you guys can, I'm going to ask you to raise your hand. If you had the choice for your child to be rich as an adult or be happy as an adult, who here would pick happiness? Raise your hand. And who here would pick rich? Raise your hand. Rich is So, statistically speaking, in all the studies, they say 90% of people reported that they're not fully happy and they're not sure why. And some of you in this room may battle that on occasion. Maybe it's on a daily basis, maybe it's on a weekly basis, maybe it's on a monthly basis, quarterly basis. But at some point in your life, you're not going to feel happy. Is that fair to say?
Yes.
But if we could do something intentionally, if we could help rewrite our program to achieve higher levels of happiness, wouldn't we be more satisfied in our life?
Yes.
We'd have better relationships. We would show up at the highest version of ourselves. There's so much benefit, not to mention you live a lot longer. You know, people who aren't happy die a lot sooner because it creates disease in the body. You guys know that?
Yep.
And so today we're going to talk about those things. So let's start with a little bit of talk on what negative beliefs are. You guys obviously know what negative beliefs are. Does anybody not understand what a negative belief is? Okay, good. So we're all on the same page. We're creating our experiences, we're creating our success, the quality of our relationships, and our health by our thoughts and our beliefs that we hold and carry around with us. We're creating our personal reality, and the personal reality that we create defines our personality. Have you guys ever heard that before? It's your personal reality, the way that you view things. He's talking about me, what she's saying, your personal reality that you see through the lens of your eyes creates your personality, and that's how you show up every day. And so we have to be really cognizant of how does our personality play out in real life? How are we being perceived out in public? How are we perceived by our friends, our family, our coworkers? Because if we don't become aware of some of the negative beliefs that we carry around with us, boy, we're just living at like a 50% capacity of what we're really designed to be living at. Do you guys agree with that?
Yes.
So every outcome in our life is a result of how we respond to events. We're going to talk a little bit about that. If you don't like the outcomes you're getting, there's two options. You can blame the economy, the weather, your spouse, your coworker, your boss, and I can keep going. You can blame. Isn't blaming somebody else easier and a little bit easier on the old ticker? Isn't it a little bit easier? That's how we're wired, to put blame on something else, because it's a lot harder to take 100% responsibility in ourselves. Because that means we have to grow. And that means we have to change. And not everybody's okay with changing, and not everybody's okay with growing, because it's uncomfortable. And that's how it keeps us hardwired in it. Number two is you can instead change your responses to the events until you get the outcome you desire. You can change your thinking, change your communication style. You can change how you feel. So let me give you a little bit of story. That's my son. And Mason was getting really down with his mindset. He'd been working every day. Anybody here play football growing up? Okay. So you know the sacrifice it is. These kids sacrifice all their free time. There is no free time. It's work, work, work. 2-a-days nonstop. This kid has put in so much work. and he felt like he wasn't being seen. He felt like he wasn't being respected or shown the respect he deserved because his coach wasn't putting him in. He wasn't playing him. He wasn't letting him suit up for varsity. He's like, I don't understand how I can be putting in so much work and I'm faster than everybody, Dad. I am. I'm faster than everybody. How is it that I'm not? And where this mindset led, what his belief of they don't care about me, I'm not good enough. He kept saying, I guess I'm not good enough. I guess I'm not good enough. And so I sat there and I had a talk with him, and we did some mindset work. Because I said, well, you could quit. Okay, take 100% responsibility for how you feel right now. You could quit, or you could change the way that you're responding to these events. Which one do you want to do? He says, I guess I'll change the way I respond to the events. I said, I think that's a good idea. Give me some ideas of how you can respond to these events differently that would serve you instead of giving away you. Because you could quit. So this, you can see the people in the background. He came that game, sorry, anyway, yeah. Jeez, it's silly. He showed up and this was a big catch that he made. He started to rebuild his mindset because he took control. And that's what we all need to do. So he would have never felt what success felt like if he didn't work through that. You guys get it? Cool. So there's a little thing I want you guys to remember, and it's E plus R equals O. E plus R equals O. The event, the response, and the outcome. So your event plus your response equals your outcome. There's going to be a bunch of shit that happens to you. Agreed? Yeah. A lot of shit's already happened to you probably. But you've got a choice to how you respond to it. So I showed up at home one day and my wife's in a really bad mood. And I could decide to respond to that event in a few different ways. I could say, boy, she must be going through something right now. She needs me more now than ever. Or I could say, she's a bee. I don't like to be around her. Stay away from her. Like, that's a choice. But if we're not aware of how we're allowing our subconscious mind to work, boy, it'll fuck your life up, won't it? So E plus R equals O. Every event that happens to you, I want you to stop and think before you act. Because you're an emotional person. You may just blurt out some dumbass shit. You may say something really stupid that you can't take back. Anybody ever done that before?
No.
So the thing is, this is simple, isn't it? This is a simple concept. I mean, I'm not teaching you guys anything that is just mind-blowing. But here's the deal. How you respond to the event is built on your belief system. That's what it's built on. You're already wired to respond a certain way. And most people just ignore it. They say, well, this is just how I am. I'm just a hothead. I've got a short fuse. You ever hear that before? It's like, congratulations, dude. How's that serving you? I used to have the shortest fuse you've ever seen in your life. It didn't serve me very well. And I removed that from my belief system and changed my personality. And that's what I encourage you guys to do too. So if I were to go up to Jenny and I said, hey Jenny, you've got green hair, would that make your feelings hurt?
No.
Why would it not make your feelings hurt?
Because I know I don't have green hair.
Because she knows she doesn't have green hair. She believes that she doesn't have green hair. Now, in all the years that I've been teaching and all the years that I've been running businesses, I've never met a bigger coward and a bigger pussy than you. Now, Eric was I just brought an event to Eric, right? Now, Eric's belief system, what he truly believes, will dictate how he responds to that event. This is where it gets really powerful, though, because you've got to be bigger than the event. So Eric could respond in two different ways, right? You ever see somebody that has a bad conversation like that, and they carry that shit around with them all fucking day? The whole day, they're in a bad attitude. They just walk around miserable. He thinks I'm a piece of shit, and this and that. He said I wasn't good enough. No. Because part of you believes that. That's the challenge of it. Part of you believes that. But if somebody walked up to me and said, you're a lazy piece of shit, you never done anything, there's not any part of my being that believes that. That's just not in my belief system. So I can deflect it and think through, they must be having a really bad day. I wonder what's going on in their life that's making them feel so charged up. And I may respond by saying, it sounds like you're really frustrated right now. What's going on in your life, bud? And that would totally change the direction of that event. So think about events that happen to you day to day and week to week, because it's your choice how you decide to respond to it. And if you can take control, you are going to be a way happier and way more powerful person. Agreed?
Yeah.
Let's keep rolling. So I'm going to do a little handout here. Somebody, I need 4 people to help me out here. I'm going to hand you guys I hope I printed it up. God dang, we got more people already. Okay. Just pass those around. Let's make it quick. We'll make it quick. Okay, when you get this piece of paper, we're going to take a few minutes. Work with me here. Pay attention, okay? Here we go. On this sheet, in the theme of taking responsibility, it's not just responsibility for how you respond to the events. It is not just that. It's taking responsibility for everything in your life. So, let's pass those around. Lead her up, lead her up, lead her up.
There you go.
Alright, so we need 2 back this way. And then stop.
Everybody got one? Everybody got those?
Okay, listen up. Here we go. You're looking at a piece of paper. I'm going to give you guys some examples. If I were to take 5% more responsibility for my life and well-being, just 5% more. I'm not asking you to think about 20 or 50% more. If you could do 100% more responsibility, that would be pretty cool. But 5%, I wrote down a couple things to help you process. I would exercise 30 minutes every morning because I know, we already know the answers. We know that if we work out 30 minutes every morning, that it's good for us and that it creates energy. We already know that. So if I were to take more responsibility for my fucking life, I would work out 30 minutes, but maybe I haven't been responsible. I've been making excuses and, I don't have time, and not being responsible. I would only eat clean organic foods. I would read 30 minutes of self-improvement book every morning or every evening, doesn't matter. I would write my gratitude journal every evening before bed. if I really took 5% more responsibility, that's what I would do. And so I woke up this morning, 4 a.m., and I hit that stupid exercise ride with that chick that's just, it's way too easy for her on the Peloton thing. Threw some weights around, read in my book, because I'm responsible for my life. I'm not responsible for yours, you are. So write that down. Write down a couple things. Let's go to the next one. If I were to take 5% more responsibility for achieving my goals, you would believe how many people set goals only to completely drop the ball. It's almost as if they set the goals just to fit in. There was no genuineness to it. I think I'm supposed to set goals, so I guess I'll set one. But if I were more responsible for achieving my goals, I'd write down my goals and I'd read them every day that I woke up. Every day. Because I want to know why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why. I would share my goals with an accountability partner. Hey, Bo, I really have a goal where I want to lose 20 pounds. This is my goal. And by the way, when you create a goal, it has to be measurable and it has to be a defined thing. You cannot say, I want a bigger home. You have to say, I want this size home that looks like this by this date, at this time of day, I'll be standing there. I mean, that's how targeted your goals have to be. So I may get an accountability part. I may read 30 minutes of self-improvement book every day. You can see a theme. Because if I want to achieve goals, I better start thinking like successful people. Because if I don't think like successful people, what am I going to think like?
What is successful?
I'm going to think like unsuccessful people. So I'm going to read self-improvement books. I'm going to find people that also do that too. Because I find that birds alike flock together. So if I hang out with people that are doing the same thing that I want to be doing, I'm probably going to be molded by that group. And I write down my gratitude journal before I went to bed. Same thing. 5% more responsibility. So here's what we're doing. Everybody done with this worksheet? Okay. I want you to get in groups of 4 really quickly. And I want you to share what your things are in a group, what your 5% is if you were to take more responsibility. Get into a group of 4. Don't overthink it. Grab 4 people. Get together and share. I'm going to give 2 minutes and we're going to come back.
Charlie gets picked out.
Do you have kids? No. Okay. So did you come here by yourself?
So what I want you to do is everybody can take more time putting more thought into this, yeah? What I want you to do is I want you to finish the worksheet and I want you to think about somebody in your life that you can share where you can be 5% more responsible for your life. Be a friend. Hopefully you got a friend that you can be real with like that and say, hey, dude, I'm trying to get better. Maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your sister, maybe it's your cousin, maybe it's your dog. I don't care. Share these things with somebody else. Because when you own it, and then you look at it, don't just tear this thing up and leave it. I don't give a shit about seeing these all around the office and throw them away. Take this home, fold it up, put it in your pocket, and look at it. Because you wrote things down because they meant something in this moment. Maybe you didn't write anything down because you couldn't think. You couldn't think about anything, and that's okay too. But you will think about something. You need to spend time thinking. Let's keep rolling. So let's talk about mindset for a minute. There's two different mindsets. So when you say mindset, what else is set? What other thing in life becomes set? I think about concrete. Like I think about concrete is set. Once it's set, it's set. So I don't love the word mindset. I like the word mind growth, and then the involvement of setting that growth, and then continuing, and it goes in a circle. So there is a mind setting that occurs, but without mind growth, you're going to set some old, outdated models. So you've always got to be growing. So here's what we're going to talk about. There's growth mindset and fixed mindset. So let's look at challenges. A growth mindset says challenges are a way for me to get better. A broken mindset, or also a fixed mindset where they're not willing to grow, would say, I try to avoid challenges because I don't want to feel stupid. So one of them's comfort, and one of them's discomfort. Which one do you want to choose and why? You get to choose. It's your life. Desires. I will try new things. Growth mindset. Desires. I'll just stick to what I know. So trying new things means maybe I'm going to try a new personality on me today. Maybe I'm going to be happier because I don't smile that much. And I think that if I smile more, it might create a different response from people. Maybe if I was happier and I didn't bitch and moan so much, maybe I could inspire people. Maybe I could be something different than what I've identified as. Because I'll try new things. Skills. I can always improve. That's one thing that I always believe is I'm never where I need to be. I always am looking at where can I improve, where can I get that extra inch in leadership, in discipline, in organization, in parenting skills, anything that it is. And the fixed mindset says I'm either good at it or I'm not, period. So what do you know, there's things in your life that you think, well, I'm just not good at talking to people. I've heard a ton of people say, I'm just not good at sales. How many sales books have you read? How much have you worked on it? Because I guarantee if you worked on it and you read books and you tried, you could be an incredible salesperson. Because every human's wired to be persuasive. Because you persuaded somebody to marry you. So you sold her on putting a ring on her finger. How can you not be a good salesperson? You guys get the idea. Obstacles. I'll change my approach until I succeed. I'm just not good at it, and that's the way it is. So this is fixed. I'm just not good at it. That's just the way it is. Fuck off. I don't want to talk about it, right? This one is different. Success of others. I'm inspired by their success. Maybe I have something to learn from their success. The fixed mindset says it's unfair that they're succeeding and I'm not. It's not fair. Criticism. I can learn from the feedback I receive. Fixed mindset says I feel threatened by this criticism I get, so I can't grow. So growth mindset, fixed mindset, and I could add to this list. I mean, we could go through 150, 200 different terms. I could make this whole speech into a 3-day workshop, so I'm blasting through things right now. But just pick up kind of what the context is here. Okay, the last thing we're going to talk about is limiting beliefs. And because we're short on time, I want to be respectful of the rest of the agenda. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. Everybody close your eyes for a second. You're safe in this room. You're comfortable in this room. Close your eyes. And everybody take a deep breath in. Blow it out. Take a deep breath in. Blow it out. Take another deep breath in. Blow it out. Take another deep breath in and blow it out. Another deep breath, blow it out. Another deep breath, blow it out. Open your eyes. You need to get into a calm state. And so this breathing exercise, just doing a quick breathing exercise can help you get into a more calm state. I want you to be calm when we think about limiting beliefs. I need you to go back. I need you to go back, and anybody who's been here for a little while, has happily say this to them. I need you to go back in time. From the ages of 0 to 7 years old, this is scientific fact. This is our programming years. Science has proven during these years alpha and theta states. So these states, alpha and theta, are the same states of brain operation as being under hypnosis or deep meditative state. If you do studies on meditation, this is where you find things. So between the ages of 0 and 7, you're literally in a hypnotic state where everything that you see around you, what your parents are saying, what their opinions are. Hey, Ben, money doesn't grow on trees. Fill in the blank. College degrees aren't going to work. Like, whatever. They could say anything. And during that phase of 0 to 7, that will program 95% of your brain. Because 95% of your brain is your what? Who wants to guess? It's your subconscious. Everything that you do, your beliefs, your personality is structured by framing that was built between 0 and 7 years old, and this is how you make decisions. The good parts of you, the bad parts of you, the disgusting parts of you. It all came from that. Some of you have limiting mind beliefs that say, I just can't read very well. Well, what's the author's name? That couldn't read, they call him the kid with the stupid brain.
Quick.
Yeah, his name's Quick. I think he wrote a book called Limitless. This gentleman hit his head on an oil burner on the wall, banged his head, couldn't think, started developing all these weird ADD things, he couldn't read. And the teachers would point out and say, this is the kid with the broken brain. Like he's distracting my class, he's dumb. And that became kind of a hardwired limiting belief that he had that carried him into his adulthood. But you get the idea. I want you to think back for a minute on what occurred to you that made you have the beliefs that you have. So here's a couple questions. A belief that is holding me back. A belief that is holding me back. Here's a belief I've heard. I can't trust anybody because I'll get taken advantage of. That belief system is created between 0 and 7. So that means that person will show highly toxic personality traits because they don't trust people. And so they act very defensive. Everything's defense, defense, defense. Now, could that mindset, limiting belief, really hurt somebody's progression in life? Yes?
Yes.
What's another mindset? Somebody share another limiting belief mindset.
Scared of being in trouble.
Scared of getting in trouble? Yeah, maybe you grew up in a very, very aggressive household where if you did anything, if you farted too loud, here comes the bell. Okay? Maybe that's true. And so it made you very cautious to do anything outside of the mold. That's true. What's another one? You're not good enough. You're not good enough. I'm not worth it. Anybody who had parents that separated his children? Okay? Raise your hand a little bit higher. There's part of you, whether you admit it or not, that makes you think that you're not worth it. Am I fair to say that?
Yeah.
Because some part of you thinks that split up happened because of you. Because between the ages of 0 and 7, that's just what kids do. That's what they think. Can that be a very damaging, limiting belief? That I'm not worth it. See, sometimes you meet maybe a woman that meets a very abusive male because that's what they think they're worth based on their limiting belief. This is the most important exercise that you could probably do. I can teach you all the success principles in the world. If you don't get this, you're not going to get a lot of traction. So, we talked about our operating system being built. So, I want you to think about a belief that's holding you back. Everybody be quiet. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. I know it's morning. There's a lot going on. It's hard to get into a deep state to think about it. But deep down in there, there's a limiting belief. I want you to think about what it is. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to think about it. Okay, open your eyes. If you couldn't picture a limiting belief, you're not done, but you're done for now, but you're not done with this. I've spent a lot of time working on this kind of stuff. Some of you, I'm not going to go into my whole story, but anybody who knows me knows I was arrested 20 plus times. Here's my proof in the room. I got kicked out of every school I went to, spent a lot of time in jail, got 3 DUIs, ran this company from jail for a period of time. Like, I went through a tremendous amount of pain and suffering to really understand why is it that I feel like I need to do these things to feel significance. Why do I need to do these things to feel important? And how can I rephrase this limiting belief in my head to serve me better? Because if I don't change, I will be stuck in prison. That was the end. I mean, that's a very true story. And certain things happen to you throughout your life where you develop these things. If you never think about it, you're going to walk through life completely on autopilot. And you're going to be, laying on your deathbed and be like, man, I just never figured it out. Never figured it out. So here, let me give you an example. Money doesn't grow on trees. Well, yeah, of course, it doesn't grow on trees. You have somebody that tells you that money doesn't grow on trees, because maybe their budget's very strict and they're getting pissed at their kid for asking to buy the candy bar. Money doesn't grow on trees, Tom. starts to program. Well, maybe a healthier way to think about this is I'll be rewarded for the value I provide for others. The more I give, the more I'll receive, yeah? Maybe that's a better mindset. Maybe that's a better belief, because that's a true belief. And the other one would not be as accurate, depending on how you view it. Make sense? Okay, so here's my gift to you. Did everybody get one? We have more people than I thought we had. People keep sneaking in the back door. Okay, so here's the deal. If you have this book, if you don't have one of these, please raise your hand. We got 2 people. Okay, we'll make sure you guys get one. So this is scientific research. This is not blah, 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 blah. Okay? Some of you will do this and some of you won't. Did you know 90% of society will not pursue personal development? 90%. Remember the other statistic I said? 90% of people want to be more happy. How big of an oxymoron is that? 90% of people are not willing to self-improve or read a fucking book. But they want to be happier. It's mind-boggling. So here's my gift to you. You can use the gift or you can throw it in the trash. And if you're going to throw the trash, just give it back to me. But if you take this book, you've got to commit to live a 30-day experiment. A 30-day experiment is this. For 30 days, you're going to try an experiment with this book. And if after 30 days, you feel like this is useless to you, it doesn't serve you, then put it on your bookshelf and don't use it again. Fair enough? So let's look at what this is. When you open this book up, you've got a spot for your name. You've got a spot for your phone number. I encourage you to keep this next to your bed at night. I do this at bed because when I go to sleep, my brain is thinking about positive things. And while I'm in beta state, while I'm sleeping, you know when you have dreams? You know what a dream is? When you're in a dream state, when you go to bed in a happy state of mind, your brain will continue to build and compound on what you're attracting, and this is really important. Now compare that to staring at your phone and looking at TikTok or looking at Facebook and reading what Joe Biden did today, reading what, who's he wants to like. And then you go to sleep. And now your brain's kind of programmed based on the last thing you did. So make this be the last thing you did. Let's look at this. My annual goals. This should take you hours. You should spend hours on this. It's not just going to come to you. You're going to sit there and you're like, I don't know what my goals are. Is that fair? Anybody ever tried to build goals and you're just kind of stumped and you're just like, I guess I could lose some weight. But you get kind of stuck. And so you've got to go through each category of your life. Your relationships, your health, your finance, your business. You've got to go through the different categories. And you've got to rank yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. How happy am I in this bucket? And why am I not happy? And what needs to be true to be happier? It's that simple. What needs to be true? Did you know that there is no goal too big? When I first started this company, I put out a wild, outlandish goal that we would be the biggest carpet cleaning company, the biggest this, the biggest that. It's scary that what you put out there will come to you. But it won't come to you unless you do some of this work and you take action. So little things would start happening to me. Some guy calls me and says, hey, I'm thinking about selling my water damage company. Heard you're doing that. So the universe delivered this dickhead that screwed me over into my life. He did, but seriously, I asked for certain things and here it comes. But there's a lesson in it. He says, oh, you're not ready yet. But I'm going to bring this person in your life because there's a lesson. I need you to become this. Okay, so there's different lessons. So goal number 1, goal number 2. you've got to put action items underneath the goal. And you've got to have a due date. So it's not just I want to lose weight. It's I want to lose 23 pounds by December 23rd at 7:33 p.m. That's it. Because when you make it that detailed, the law of averages say you're significantly, I don't know the exact, but you're significantly more likely to achieve that goal. Fair enough? So you've got 4 goals you're going to spend time. Am I living the life I want to live? Why or why not? Think. Why do I not like my life? Well, I go to bed at 2 a.m. every morning, and then I wake up at 7, and I've allowed my mindset to bitch and moan so much that I've attracted every negative thing possible that you could possibly imagine. Because all I'm talking and thinking about is negative things. I don't like this. This sucks. This is bullshit. And so you're thinking to yourself, God, I don't like my life. Your brain's going to throw yellow flags. And if you ignore the yellow flags, then you're being irresponsible. Your brain will throw you yellow flags. You've got to pay attention. So I encourage you to be very, very aware of what you say. Because what you say matters. How you communicate matters. If you talk shit behind somebody's back, it matters. If you're positive and you show up with energy and pep in your step, it matters. If I walk in like this, I'm like, fucking another day, man. I don't know about you guys, but I keep those people as far away from me as I possibly can. Maybe shoot a dart gun at them or something. I gotta keep that away from me. So then I encourage you to do the same. So next, what is the one thing I can start doing this year to improve the quality of my life? Write it down. You're not going to do everything. Things aren't going to always work out for you. We get that as human beings. But write it down. What would it best look like? So mine's going on a day night every week with my wife. Mine's going on a walk with my daughter once a week. So I'm like, I got to start somewhere. Mine's do 30 minutes of exercise, even though you're supposed to do like an hour or something. I'm like, I'll do 30. I'm satisfied with that. I'm going to remove all the shit from my diet. I'm just going to eat this thing. I got Jenny's side. Jenny, can everybody give Jenny a big hand clap for a second? So, it's okay. Jenny said she could be vulnerable. Jenny's wanted to lose weight and get healthy for a while. Has anybody else ever felt that way? Where you've wanted to achieve something, but due to your wiring, you just keep staying in that comfort river, and it's so hard to get out because the current's so strong, and you're like, God, how do I get out of this canoe? Because I know there's better land over here I can stand on, but I can't get out of the river. It's just too hard. Well, Jenny just says enough is enough. She was getting all these yellow flags, weren't you? You were getting all these flags. Doctors saying this, doctors saying that. Here's your flags. Here's your flags. And what Jenny and I were talking about yesterday is, you know what to do. And the thing, we all know what to do. So do simple better. Do simple better. Because it's simple. Eat healthier, right? It's simple, but it's hard because we're wired otherwise. So anyways, she signed up for Thistle. She's going to have all these really, really healthy, nutritious meals delivered, and she took the stat. So now she's going to play an experiment for 30 days. Remember 30-day life experiment? So for 30 days, I encourage you guys to support and champion that. So can we give her another Is this good though? Are you guys getting it good?
Yes.
So, this is how this works. Every day you're going to write what you're thankful for. Every single day, you're just going to do it. For the past couple weeks, I've been coming home, and I'm pretty open about it. I told Diane, I was telling Bo, I've just been negative lately. Because that's going to happen. Even to the most disciplined person, they're going to get negative. So I said, what is your fucking problem? Like, you're just negative. It's like, Because I think that to find common ground or to have conversation, I need to talk about what's not going right so that she feels sorry for me. So I started asking myself, why do I want her to feel sorry for me? Am I such a weak person that I need her pity? So I come home for a pity party every day. Babe, you won't believe this. You know? You won't believe this. This happened. This person did this. And I'm just bitching. So she called me out on it. She says, I'm tired of it. And so I said, fuck. So I get back into this. So I start programming. I say, what am I thankful for? Every night I've been doing it. And then you're right, what's my daily affirmation? Anybody know what an affirmation is? What is it?
It's something you say about yourself and you don't believe it, essentially.
Like I'm worthy of happiness and love, that kind of stuff.
You state it when it's already that way.
Yes. I am blessed. I am smart. Positivity comes to me. People like me. Okay. Good things that happen today. Not what you're grateful for, but here's some good things that happen today. Y'all can find 100 fucking shitty things. I want to hear the good things. And then tomorrow I'm most excited about. Tomorrow I'm most excited about having the opportunity to open my lungs and breathe. And provide service and provide value and have relationships. And have fun. Today I felt excited, hopeful, grateful, sad, tired, overwhelmed, and then just reflect. And this doesn't have to be good. I mean, it doesn't. It doesn't have to be long. Okay, can this tool be helpful for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Do it 30 days. That's all I got. I'm going to let everybody else.